This is ABC15 News Taking Action.
On this Sunday morning, another search for a fugitive underway. The manhunt focusing in on the valley. What authorities are telling us this morning.
Hundreds of workers threatening to strike. Some are already on the picket lines this morning, and it could have a huge impact on the automotive industry.
Plus, a university marching band taking action to support a young fan who was bullied for his homemade t-shirt. You probably see pieces of this story on social media now. It is expanding, and it's going to give you all the feels.
It's all coming together. We want to wish you good morning on your Sunday, the last day of the weekend, so make it a good one. I'm Megan Thompson.
And I'm Nohelani Graff. We're so thankful that you're starting your morning off with us. Yesterday, we went to bed, a lot of folks seeing some pieces of the monsoon, depending on where you were, and you're saying, little holdout this morning, but the best part is the temps.
Oh, absolutely. We're below the triple digits. That's what are going to be our forecasted high today, is just below. As we take a look at Doppler radar, we also still have a little bit of activity here that's moving through the eastern portions of our state, coming from Texas and New Mexico as well. As we zoom in a little bit closer, you see some of that little pockets of activity there in Apache Junction, Fountain Hills, a little bit in Queen Creek. Mostly that is just some sprinkles that we're seeing. We really don't expect a downpour in that area that's coming down right now, but you will notice those clouds. Like I said, potentially some sprinkles as well. So here's a look at your current conditions, though, across the state in the 80s. Mesa 79, Goodyear 83, and 78 degrees there in Peoria. So some really nice temperatures to wake you up this morning as that sun is starting to come up. I'm going to take you through your hour-by-hour forecast to help you plan this Sunday for you, coming up in just a few minutes. Nohelani.
Megan, thanks. Days after the manhunt for a fugitive couple comes to an end, the search is now on for another escaped prisoner who may be hiding out in the valley. This is 23-year-old Robert Collins. The Navajo County Sheriff's Office says he escaped earlier this week. Collins was with 4 bail bondsmen when they made a stop in Heber-Overgaard. Authorities were transporting him back to the valley from North Carolina so he could face theft and drug-related charges. It is believed that Collins may now be in a stolen car. Authorities say it is likely a white 2008 Lexus GX7 with Arizona plates, BXC 1008. That number's on your screen right now as well. If you see that vehicle or if you spot Collins himself, you do need to call police right away, and he should be considered dangerous.
The FBI now joining the investigation into a shooting involving Maricopa County Sheriff's deputies. Neither agency releasing many details about what exactly happened. We do know MCSO says it was working a case involving 2 violent suspects. One of those suspects was arrested early Friday morning. By Friday night, the second suspect was found and shot by a deputy near 48th Street and Broadway. At last check, that person was in critical condition. We're still working to find out the identity of those suspects, what they were wanted for, and really what led up to this shooting at all. Now, some businesses in the area of 48th Street and Broadway were forced to close early because of that shooting scene. Some of the bullets flying through a glass window into a nearby barber shop.
Bullet came through from the window and it ricocheted here.
Came over and hit the nail station chair.
The owner, Sean Allen, tells us the shop had just closed. Thankfully, no one was inside. We also spoke with shoppers who were at a mini mart next door. They tell us they had to duck for cover. Thankfully, no one was hurt there either.
A man in his 60s recovering this morning after his car crashed into a canal near 35th Avenue and Carver Road. It happened last night just after 9 o'clock. Phoenix Fire telling us they did have to cut the roof off the car to get the man out. You can see how it's kind of wedged in the canal there. And we're told that man was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Some frenzied moments for shoppers in Chandler when they got an unwanted surprise on Saturday while at Chandler Fashion Center. A swarm of bees started attacking people in the parking lot. Officials tell us at least 5 people were stung multiple times, including a 6-month-old baby. Firefighters did find a beehive outside the entrance to Macy's, and you saw them spraying all the foam all over it there. We're told the bees are now gone from that area.
Across the nation now, panic and a large police presence outside a movie theater in Arlington, Virginia. We want to show you a photo that was tweeted out by a reporter showing that scene. Authorities say they were responding to reports of a shooting. People were told to shelter in place, but police never found any evidence of a shooter at the theater. One person was hurt while everyone was evacuating. A 22-year-old man in California now in police custody for allegedly making false threats to the LA County Fair. Police say the man was sent a threatening email to the fair's organizers because he didn't want to attend the fair with his parents. Investigators say the man admitted to the hoax and was arrested at his home. A 31-year-old and former NFL player facing charges for allegedly staging a hate crime inside two of his businesses in Atlanta. Police say Edwin Kaufman ransacked his pizzeria and ice cream shop. He also allegedly spray painted racial slurs on the walls, then called his insurance company before calling police. Kaufman faces charges for fraud and filing a false police report.
Dozens of people arrested outside a Microsoft store in New York City. Police say they took 76 protesters into custody for blocking traffic near the Fifth Avenue store in Manhattan. Organizers of the protest say they're upset with Microsoft for doing business with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. They say it's a racist campaign against immigrants and asylum seekers. Last year, some Microsoft employees demanded the company end its data processing contract with ICE. More members of the United Auto Workers Union could strike today if a new contract isn't reached with General Motors. Their 4-year contract expired at midnight on Saturday. Another strike involving union workers with Aramark went on strike today after working under an extended contract since early last year. That strike impacts 8 General Motors facilities in Ohio and Michigan, and that means about 850 workers. Here's a warning that you don't hear very often. The CDC is urging people to stop kissing, snuggling, and eating with their live chickens. That's a warning we didn't think we'd have to give. They also say that you should refrain from bringing the chicken inside your home. Health officials say there have been more than 1,000 cases of salmonella across 49 states linked to chicken keepers. 2 people have died from infection, so it's very serious. 175 people have been hospitalized by this. Chicken owners are reminded you regularly need to wash your hands with soap and water after interacting with your poultry.
Well, with football season here, many of you are likely throwing some watch parties. That could mean you will have a lot of leftover food. So how long does it last? Experts from the Mayo Clinic say cooked leftovers like meat and eggs should be refrigerated and eaten within 2 or 3 days to reduce your risk of foodborne illness.
There's always the good old common sense sniff test. If it doesn't smell good or look good, don't eat it.
The sniff test, so official. If you know that you're not going to eat your leftovers within a few days, or if you are cooking in bulk for future meals, the doctor suggests freezing your food immediately after cooking. Uncooked food should be put in the refrigerator as soon as possible. Well, a high school swimmer from Alaska allowed to return to the pool after she was disqualified over the fit of her swimsuit. District officials did reverse that decision, saying it was discriminatory. Brooklyn Willis was awarded her win. On Friday, she and her team got back in the water and won their relay race. There was a large crowd to see their victory, many showing up to support Willis.
Good for her. Here's another feel-good story for your Sunday morning. The University of Tennessee's marching band paying tribute to a boy who was teased at school over his homemade t-shirt for the university. On Saturday, the band wore shirts designed by that 4th grader. The school officially turned his homemade shirt into their real design. His story went viral last week after his teacher revealed that students were mocking him for making his own shirt on College Colors Day. He wanted to represent the University of Tennessee, but he just didn't have any of their apparel. So a clothing store heard that story, made his design into a real shirt that fans can now order, and more than 50,000 have already been pre-sold, including the marching band wearing it for him to see. A lot of people lifting that kid up so that he knows that everyone else in their support far louder and stronger than those bullies.
I think we could have a stadium full of those t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
That would definitely
I
send a
imagine they
message.
will. Keep your eye on University of Tennessee. I bet they will soon.
I think they should just be throwing them out. You know, everyone's fighting for the t-shirts.
Right, where you shoot off all the t-shirts.
That's what I would absolutely fight for
Love
sure.
it.
Hey, let's turn now to that most accurate forecast for you, because I know you're wondering what your weekend is looking like. Well, right now, temperature's pretty nice. It's about 81 degrees in Phoenix as we take a live look as that sun is starting to come up. The official sunrise is at 6:11, so we're just about a minute or two away from that as the sun continues to go up. 47% humidity. Winds are pretty calm, 8 miles per hour as well as we take a look at the temperature trend. I'm going to give you a little bit of happiness on your Sunday as well, because you do see those temperatures trending down after what we saw yesterday in the highs. The triple digits were 104 was our forecasted high, and then we're dipping back down, staying below those triple digits through Tuesday at 99 degrees before we'll jump back up to 101 by Wednesday. I'll take you through futurecast because we do have storm chances still in our forecast today and through the start of next week. I'll break that down in just minutes.
Still to come this morning, details on the search for a gunman in Seattle wanted for a deadly shooting inside a transit station.
Plus, she's making moves in El Mirage, and she's under the age of 30. Our own Mark Thompson introduces us to the city's mayor and her vision for the future.
More top stories on this Sunday morning. Seattle police are looking for the gunman who is responsible for a deadly shooting inside a transit station. One man was killed, 2 other men were hurt. Police are looking at surveillance video now that shows the suspect running away from the scene. Investigators do believe that a fight led up to that shooting.
FEMA says information belonging to 2.5 million people was accidentally shared with a third party. The data, like banking information, was given to a contractor that supports FEMA's Transitional Sheltering Assistance Program. FEMA says all of the overshared information has been removed from its contractor system now.
Senator and Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders is taking a break from the campaign trail to recover from losing his voice. Sanders has canceled appearances for Monday and Tuesday. Other than losing his voice, his campaign says the senator is feeling great. She is the new face around El Mirage City Hall, in office for less than a year. She's the mayor, and she's under the age of 30.
Our own Mark Thompson in El Mirage talking about a young woman working to make a difference.
It's been 9 months, but it's felt like 3 years. But that's a wonderful thing, I think.
She's the fresh new face around City Hall, and at just 29 years old, El Mirage Mayor Alexis Hermosillo is pumping new life into the position and the city.
It's beautiful to hear people say that there's a new energy around City Hall, especially in the community in our city. And I definitely feel like that's been a team effort.
Her interest in politics was sparked and shaped early, serving in the offices of Phoenix City Council member Michael Nowakowski and Congressman Raul Grijalva. But Hermosillo is El Mirage born and raised, passionate about her city, with a clear view for the path ahead.
It's just about growing the workforce, really providing job opportunities for people, and also looking for educational opportunities that will really help our community grow.
As Mayor, Hermosillo says she understands that being seen as a role model just comes with the territory.
I love to see whenever young people come up and say, like, you know, I'm so excited that you're my mayor, we're into the same things.
But when it comes to getting down to business, Hermosillo says that she serves all of the people of El Mirage, and working together is what makes a community great.
I would love to serve as a beacon of light to individuals, whether they're young, whether they're older, regardless of what background they come from.
Mark Thompson, ABC15, Arizona.
Oh, she's definitely got the attitude that's right for it. We do have to shout out Prince Harry this morning from across the pond. Today he is celebrating his 35th birthday. This is Prince Harry's first birthday as a dad, of course. His wife Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, gave birth to their first child, Archie, back in May. So happy birthday to him. I imagine that he's probably spending it doing good somewhere in the
that's
world.
What he's known for.
Yeah, I don't think he's just having a regular celebration with, you know, cake and the family and the like. He always is doing
pretty
good
happy
in some way.
now, for sure. Hey, a group of students with Down syndrome getting a huge surprise from the Backstreet Boys, my favorite. The singers paying the students a visit before their concert in Louisville. The program Down Syndrome Louisville got the Backstreet Boys' attention by making a video of the students lip syncing to I Want It That Way.
Nice.
Group member Kevin Richardson posted a video on social media telling the students the passion, the joy, the soul that you put into that video was absolutely inspiring. Now I want to go check that out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know what, that is so cool of them. You just never know what you put out there, who's going to see it.
Social media has changed so much.
Truly.
We've gotten to get in touch with these celebrities that we look up to, and now they get to have that moment with the Backstreet Boys of all people.
It's your dream.
I love
your
them.
dream right
I love them. All right, let's take a look at your most accurate forecast, because you are going to love this morning. We're below those triple digits, and we will not reach them today. Here's your temperatures right now. 81 degrees in Phoenix, 79 degrees in Mesa, 83 in Goodyear, also 78 in Peoria. So the upper 70s there in the West Valley and the East Valley. We will warm up, but it won't be as bad as what we have been used to and what we also saw yesterday. So by 8 a.m., 83 degrees, 87 degrees, upper 80s by 9 a.m. We'll stay in the 80s up until 10 a.m. before we'll jump to the 90s by 11 a.m. at 91 degrees. By noon, 92, and then by 1 p.m., 93 degrees. And we are going to continue to warm up from there. Our forecasted high is 98 degrees, so it'll still be a warm one, but we're keeping it positive today because we are below those triple digits with mostly sunny skies for you. Still will notice some of those clouds out there as well, but not as more as what we saw yesterday, not as cloudy as we saw yesterday, I should say. So here's that high, what we compare to the normal. So we are right around the normal for this time of year, just about 2 degrees shy. But again, when we have less than triple digits, we get excited. The record is 110, so we will not break any records for us today. Here's your forecasted highs all across the state. 79 degrees in Payson, 76 degrees at the Grand Canyon, right around the rim here in the 70s, 75 in Flagstaff, also 68 in Heber, and 64 degrees in Show Low. In the western portions of our state, Bullhead City, Lake Havasu, Quartzsite, and Yuma, still very, very warm, especially Bullhead City at 104. But here in the Sedona area, 85 degrees, 80 in Prescott, 96 in Casa Grande, and 91 degrees in Tucson. We will cool down into those overnight hours just a little bit. We'll stay in the 80s here in the Phoenix metro area, the low 80s for sure. 81 in Gila Bend, also 75 in Casa Grande. Up in the high country, we'll be in the 50s there, 46 at the Grand Canyon, 62 in Page, 53 in Heber, 45 in Window Rock, 77 degrees in Ajo into those overnight hours. We are keeping a 10% chance of storms in our forecast right now. It's a lot more severe in the high country towards the eastern portions of our state. It's looking pretty likely you guys to see these storms right around this time of the morning as we take a look at Show Low here. This is at 6:30 a.m. for Futurecast. It's going to move through here. We can see it staying pretty consistent right along the eastern portions of our state. Tucson getting a piece of it as well, Safford. And we'll see it continue to move from there. Coming up in the high country, Flagstaff, Sedona, Kingman, the Grand Canyon, Payson right here in Heber. And it's also sticking around there in the Show Low, Safford area. Even coming up, even pockets here in Quartzsite as well. Sedona, Payson still getting it. We're going to see those clouds move through the Phoenix area. Maybe we'll get a piece of it. We're going to keep an eye on that for you as well as we take a look at that 7-day forecast. It's a pretty good one, I would say. So by Monday, when you start your work week, we're still below triple digits at 97 degrees. We raise our storm chances to 20%, so we're going to keep an eye on that too. We still have a 10% chance of the forecast by Tuesday, and we are still below the triple digits. Your hump day Wednesday is when we go up to those triple digits again, 101, before we dip back down again to start your weekend to 99 degrees on Friday. No hay.
All right, Megan, let's get you some sports news this morning. In Flagstaff, the Lumberjacks playing host to the Western New Mexico Mustangs in the Sky Dome. And the Jacks run away with this one, scoring 16 points in the first, 24 points in the second, and 15 more points to cap off the second half. So this one was never close, really. Northern Arizona wins this one big, 55-21. They move to 2-1 on the early season. Let's head on down to Tucson now, where the Arizona Wildcats faced off against Texas Tech. Khalil Tate accounting for 314 yards and 2 touchdowns, leading the Wildcats to victory this week, 28-14. Arizona now 2-1 for the season so far. But of course, the big story of the morning here in the Valley after upsetting Michigan State at home a year ago. The Sun Devils on the road now, taking on the 18th ranked Spartans in East Lansing on their home turf this time. Jaden Daniels and Eno Benjamin and the Devils putting together a late game 75-yard drive with Eno just stretching the ball there across the goal line. There was just 50 seconds left to go in the game to put ASU up 10-7, but this one far from over. The Spartans drive 51 yards. They have one final chance to tie the game with this 42-yard field goal, and it misses. Michigan State ends up having 12 men on the field. Also, that pushes Matt Coughlin back 5 yards. He hooks that 47-yarder to the wide left. The Sun Devils come away with a 10-7 shocker in East Lansing. Michigan State coach Mark D'Antonio misses out on a chance to take over sole possession of the school record for wins. Way to go, Sun Devils. What a stunning way to hold on to this one. Still to come this morning, the call to help. Thousands of children are in need of an advocate, and you can take action just by volunteering a few hours a month. The program making a big difference in the lives of Arizona kids. Within the Arizona foster care system, 35% of children in out-of-home care are Hispanic, and so that means that there is a high need for court-appointed special advocates of all backgrounds to help those kids navigate the system. So Larry Herrera is joining us from the CASA program this morning. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So first, for people who are not familiar, what is a CASA? What is that?
So a CASA is a volunteer court-appointed special advocate that is assigned by the state of Arizona to help on children in foster care, youth, and they volunteer their time. They go to children with their court, they offer them resources, and they follow the child through the court system to make sure that they're allotted the resources that they need.
So you're not their lawyer, but someone that they can connect with, that liaison, so they understand what's happening?
That is correct.
Okay, and we talked about how many 35% of children are Hispanic. So
That's right.
The need for diverse, more diversity within the CASA volunteers is critical.
Absolutely. So right now, because it's Hispanic Heritage Month, we're really focusing on the need to recruit a lot more folks from diverse backgrounds and the need for these children. There's almost 9,000 cases in the system right now, and these children need us.
It's not just about being able to maybe speak a second language like them, but also you just need somebody who looks like you, sometimes who you can relate to.
Absolutely.
Because these kids are already going through so much at that time. What is needed of a CASA? What does that entail? What do you do?
So basically, to become a CASA, you will need a background check, to a U.S. citizen, read and write English, spend about 15 to 20 hours a month on the case, write a court report, and then you're the third set of eyes for the judge on the case, and you help these children, give them that voice that they don't necessarily would have otherwise.
Well, we have to remember that these kids in foster care also are often bouncing between so many different homes. They don't have anyone consistent in their life, and that's what you provide as a CASA. You know firsthand.
Absolutely, absolutely. So being I'm a 6-year CASA now and handling over cases, almost 200 children, I've seen the need over the time where these children need us.
Do you make a real connection with
Absolutely,
those kids?
absolutely.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I think for me the best impact is what I get out of it is the impact of these children, the positive impact.
Yeah, changing their lives for the better.
Absolutely.
So how can we get involved if we want to?
So first of all, they can go to our website, which is voicesforcasa.org, and we also have an upcoming event on September 19th. If you look at the website, and if you can't donate, your time, please get involved somehow. These children need us.
Definitely. Wonderful ways to help. Thank you so much for letting us know more about this program. We appreciate you and the work that you're doing for these kids.
Thank you.
So vital. We'll be back on the other side of this break.